Hey, what's going on, guys? So I didn't turn on my light. Oops. Hang on. There you go. Now you've all probably seen me PJs and a shirt. It's how I do most of my recording early in the morning. Shout out to Bigger Pockets for hooking me up with my new shirt. Super stoked to have this. So kind of going to start trying to do live videos on Sunday. And last time I did this, I promised myself that I was going to do a better job advertising it, and I didn't, because I didn't actually plan on doing one this morning. I had a lot of other stuff I was doing. But I've had a question and kind of a point of discussion that has come up a few times over the last few weeks, and I thought I would just share my philosophy on this. So I've slowly been increasing the speed at which I listen to audiobooks. So currently I'm at like 2.25. I know guys who do 3 times. Audible goes up to like 3.5. That's chipmunk speed. You think the guy in oh, I can't think of Hoodwinked, the movie Hoodwinked, that little squirrel who's just like, and then they slow him down and he has like, anyway. I've been slowly working up. So I started at like 1.3, then 1.5, 1.8, and jumped to 2.25. Anything over that is still pretty hard for me to understand. But while I'm driving, it is kind of chipmunky, but you can retain it. So people have been asking, well, if you read that fast, you don't retain anything. Well, I don't have as much of a commute as I used to, so I need to try to retain as much as humanly possible. But I also need to try to increase the speed because I don't have a very long commute. So if I'm not listening to a lot of video, a lot of audiobook on my commute, like if I'm not speeding it up, then I'm never going to finish anything. Like I used to read, I think in 2017, I got 40 or 50 different books read at normal speed. And this year I'm barely going to break 30 on Audible, and that's at 2.25. So the whole point of this is that I have this philosophy, because people have been asking me, well, at 2.5 times or 2.25 times speed, how do you retain any of the information? Because they want to, obviously reading is great, but you don't get any of the benefits if you're not retaining what you read. And so I just really wanted to touch on this and talk very briefly through examples. So we're going to use this book. Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams, he wrote this, which is often discussed as the Bible for real estate agents. So my buddy David Green, shout out to him, recommended I read this when I was getting my license, which he also recommended. And it's a very good book. He wrote Military Real Estate Investor as well, or The Millionaire Real Estate Investor as well, a couple other books. So what I did, I bought this on Audible. I listened to it on Audible, and I listened to it probably then it was like 1.8 times or whatever, but I listened to it fast, and I got done with it and I realized like, oh, this book does have a lot of value. So then I bought it hard copy, and as you can see, my highlighter was dying, but you can tell that I was, actually that's kind of, tell you what, I'm going to use a different book as an example. In fact, I will use the book of the guy who recommended that I read that book. So David Green's book, which is an awesome book, Long Distance Real Estate Investing. So you will see as you go through here that I have got plenty of highlighting. There's a lot to be gained. Earmarks, highlights, of course, as I'm flipping through, there we go, there was some. So like here's a section, right? So you go through and you look, and there's all these highlights. And so what I'll do is I will buy a book, listen to it on Audible, so like Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and I'll listen to it. And if as I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh man, that really resonates. That was a good book. I will then order it hard copy, and I'll buy it. I will read it front to back, word for word, all the way through hard copy. And then I will go through a third time, and I will read, I'm going to find another passage here. There you go. I will read just the highlights. So like on this page, I would literally just go, so here's something that the further a property's value drops, the less expensive it becomes to own. The less expensive property is to own, the easier it is to find properties that cash flow positively. For areas where it was already easy to find cash flowing properties, you'll see the opportunity to make even more money. Lower home prices mean smaller down payments, which means your money goes further. Lower home prices also mean lower mortgage payments, which means a higher return on your investment. And then I would skip all the way down to I genuinely look forward to market downturns. Most of an investor's time is spent looking for a deal. Well, in market downturns, deals get easier to find. And then if you're fearing decreasing prices, you're investing wrong. And I'll just go through. Here's sell high, buy low. Or more accurately, buy low, sell high. Buy low somewhere else. And so I will read the third time through just the highlights and just the best parts of the book. And so by doing this, by listening to books fast, I'm able to read more books, and then I'm able to sort through which books are genuinely worth purchasing and reading a second time. Sometimes I read a book and it's really, really good, but I feel like I comprehended everything really well. Sometimes I read a book or listen to a book and it's really, really good, and I'm like, man, that was a lot. I'm going to buy it. And then I'll do this strategy. But that's kind of something that I've found that helps with not only reading more, which will help set you up for success, but retaining more, because it doesn't help you if you don't retain it. So that's my 2 cents. This is my short little live video about books and how to retain how to retain information and also go through a lot of information. So I hope you got something out of it. If you did, shoot me some comments. Also, and I'm going to put this in the very end so that I'll know if you actually listened to it, but I'm coming for you, Alex. Yeah, you know who you are, Mr. Felice. I'm coming for you.